In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on September 17, 2022, and providing you with team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Oklahoma versus Nebraska. This Saturday, the Oklahoma Sooners and the Nebraska Cornhuskers will face off in the 3rd week of the 2022 college football season. Kickoff will be at noon inside Memorial Stadium. Nebraska just fired their head coach, Scott Frost. They will be looking for a fresh start in this game. The Oklahoma Sooners are coming into this one after destroying Kent State 33-3. The Sooners look great on both sides of the ball as they were consistently making big plays on offense and defense. They will be looking to keep this perfect season alive in this one. The Nebraska Cornhuskers fell to Georgia Southern in Week 2 as Scott Frost was fired after that loss. Mickey Joseph will now be stepping in as the head coach, as Nebraska will be looking to turn this season around. The Sooners are 1-3-1 against the spread in their last 5 road games and 3-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The Cornhuskers are 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 home games and 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games overall. The under is 4-0 in Sooners' last 4 games in September. The over is 4-1 in Cornhuskers' last 5 games overall. The under is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. The Scott Frost era at Nebraska is over. To quote Uncle Louie in Christmas Vacation, at least it's out of its misery. There's typically one of 2 ways a team with a fired coach mid-season responds. One way is with a rousing effort that results in victory, or the other way where they get their doors blown off. In order for the first one to happen, the Nebraska defense is going to have to play much better than the 492 yards per game they are allowing. Sooners quarterback Dylan Gabriel should have a big day against a defense that allows 285 passing yards per game, as should stand out wide receiver Marvin Mims. The bottom line for me is that Nebraska hasn't really outplayed anyone so far this year. Even against North Dakota, that had a negative turnover margin. Cornhuskers quarterback Casey Thompson has thrown just 4 touchdowns with 3 interceptions and has been sacked 7 times. The best chance Nebraska has is to run the ball with Anthony Grant, who is averaging over 6 yards per carry, but the Oklahoma defense is allowing just 96 yards per game on the ground. If Nebraska can slow the pace down, they will have a shot to keep it close. Nebraska is also 0-3 against the spread on the season, so Oklahoma to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. I see the Nebraska offense struggling at different points in this game. I understand that the Sooners haven't faced much competition this season, but the Cornhuskers won't be a challenge either. The Nebraska football team is currently a dumpster fire, as they will struggle on the offensive side of the field in this one. The Sooners are only allowing 8 points per game, and I see them making it difficult for Nebraska to move the ball on the ground. They will turn the Cornhuskers into a one-dimensional offense, as they will only be able to successfully move the ball through the air. Oklahoma is only allowing 96 rushing yards per game, as their linebackers and defensive line have impressed me through the first few weeks. This will allow the Sooners to drop back into coverage later in the game and take away the pass as well. This is the first tough defense that Nebraska will face this season, and I don't see it going well for them. They will continue to punt the ball, as they won't do their part in pushing this total. This is a ton of points, and I see this game being a blowout. This total feels too high. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. California versus Notre Dame. The Cal Golden Bears and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish meet in college football action from Notre Dame Stadium on Saturday. Cal is 16-7 against the spread in their last 23 road games and 5-0 against the spread in their last 6 games following an against the spread loss, while the under is 4-1 in their last 5 games against a team with a losing record. Notre Dame is 11-5 against the spread in their last 16 games against a team with a winning record and 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games overall, while the under is 4-1 in their last 5 home games against a team with a winning road record. It's been a forgettable start to the season for Notre Dame. The embarrassing 26-21 home loss to Marshall in Week 2 puts the Irish at 0-2 to start the year. It also makes Marcus Freeman the first Notre Dame head coach to start 0-3 in his career. Losing to Ohio State in the opener is understandable, but getting beat outright by Marshall despite being 3-score favorites is as bad as it gets. To make matters worse, the Irish will now have to make do without starting QB Tyler Buchner, who's likely out for the season with a shoulder injury suffered in the Marshall loss. It's now Drew Pine as the starter, and his inexperience may be an issue right away. Plus, Notre Dame's offense has taken a big step back from last year. The offensive line, running backs, and wide receivers are all notably worse, while tight end Michael Mayer is the only true game changer. If opposing defenses focus on Mayer, then the offense will struggle to build and maintain leads against lesser teams, as it was versus Marshall. Meanwhile, California is now 2-0 to start the season after getting by UC Davis and UNLV. Though those aren't the toughest of tests, the Golden Bears have looked more consistent than the Irish and are playing with much more confidence. Transfer QB Jack Plummer makes the Cal passing attack more respectable, and he also has experience playing on the road at Notre Dame last year while with Purdue. The Fighting Irish haven't proven they deserve to be double-digit favorites right now, and Cal should keep this one close in a lower-scoring affair until we see a Freeman-coached Notre Dame squad roll out a convincing win. Or a victory at all. Backing the underdogs here is the play, so California to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. I don't expect Cal to suddenly get their offense rolling out of nowhere against a ticked-off Irish unit, but Notre Dame's offense hasn't been very good either. I think this is another offensive struggle for both sides, and I look for this one to remain low-scoring. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Tulane versus Kansas State. The Tulane Green Wave have been doing extremely well as they are currently 2-0 on the season and after coming off a 52-0 home win over the Alcorn State Braves. Junior quarterback Michael Pratt was under center as he finished going an outstanding 1-7 of 2-1 for 318 yards with 3 touchdowns. The Kansas State Wildcats also have been dominant as they are 2-0 as well after a 40-12 home win over the Missouri Tigers. Senior quarterback Adrian Martinez struggled with his accuracy in this game as he went 9 of 20 for 101 yards through the air and 13 rushing attempts for 52 yards with a rushing touchdown. These teams are very similar as they love to run the football and defense dominates. However, Pratt has been doing well under center as he is 2-9 of 4-1 for 482 yards with a 5-0 touchdown to interception ratio through his first 2 games of the season. Tulane has run the ball effectively throughout the year as they are averaging 4.3 yards per rushing attempt as a team. These teams are going to run the ball a lot, and that means there will be fewer possessions as the clock continues to go to make a huge dent in scoring for either side. The Wave demolished Alcorn State in their last matchup, bagging 558 total yards, 7.4 yards per play and 31 first downs. There were a couple of fumbles, but other than that there isn't much to complain about with their performance on either side of the ball. If the Wave can keep up the momentum, they should be able to stay in range during Game 3. As for Kansas State, they'll be leaning on the rush again. The Wildcats bagged 235 yards on the ground during their blowout win over Missouri, averaging 5.3 yards per play. Kansas State may not be able to push Tulane around quite so much, however, because the Green Wave have been a balanced offense this year and have had allowed very little defensively. Backing them to keep this game within a couple of touchdowns will be the lean, so Tulane to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both offenses have their strengths. Tulane with their passing offense and Kansas State with their ability to run the ball. The Green Wave are averaging 45 points per game this season, despite playing inferior competition, while the Wildcats are averaging 37 points per game. Both defenses are allowing 6 points per game or fewer, but expect this game to be more up-tempo with big runs and big pass plays. Plus, Kansas State's defense has been able to create turnovers, which has set up their offense with shorter fields. The previously mentioned offensive strengths should play a big enough role for sides to keep this game back and forth. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.